Kawhi Leonard had one of his, if not his best game of the season, as the Clippers, who were without the services of Paul George, at home defeated a very, very bad Cleveland Cavalier team. Kawhi dropped 43 points. He was 14 of 22 from the field, 6 of 10 on threes. He was locked in defensively. He was everywhere on the court, chipped in a couple steals as well. He led the Clippers to a big-time win. Again, dropping 43 points in only 29 minutes of action was Kawhi needed. The Clippers beat the Cavs by 25 points. Got me to thinking about Kawhi Leonard in the season that he's having. We haven't heard a lot about Kawhi Leonard necessarily being in the MVP race. To me, the Clippers have kind of fallen under the radar this year. They're around a 3 or 4 seed. They better be careful. Right now, they're looking at playing the Lakers in the second round of the playoffs right now. If they keep slipping, they're behind not only the Nuggets, which they've pretty much been behind all season, but now Utah's gotten hot, and they've secured that number 2 spot in the Western Conference. But yeah, Kawhi's missed, about 10 to 12 games thus far this season. So he's kind of officially taking his name out of the MVP conversation. And it got me to thinking, what if we had to grade this season from Kawhi, how will we look at it, right? Because, with him missing so many games, when he plays, he's amazing, he's incredible, and he's locked in on both ends of the court. That's what makes it so tough when you're grading Kawhi. Obviously, I know LeBron can go out there and give me 30, 32, and he's leading the league in assists. Giannis can go give me 37 points, drop 15 rebounds, and be done in 25 minutes of action, right? In blowout fashion, the Bucks can win or the Lakers can win. But Kawhi, he's more or less going to give me a 28-point night. But we have to account for the fact that he's able to switch on everyone. He's locked in defensively, commanding that Clippers defense. So I don't want to undercut Kawhi's services. I'm just kind of wondering, how do I grade Kawhi's season with him missing so much time? I want to give respect and credence to guys like James Harden, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron, guys that are not taking nights off if they can. If their bodies don't allow it, they'll sit down. But more times than not, they're available for their team, and I want to respect that. I love Kawhi's game, don't get me wrong. I just know he's fresh because he's just low managing his way through the season. To me, this only makes sense if you're a Kawhi Leonard fan or a Clippers fan if the Clippers win a championship. All this low managing mess is ridiculous for this, 28, 29-year-older. If he doesn't win a championship, you got to look back at the season like, yo, Kawhi, what are you doing to grow this Clippers fandom? You don't play every night. You don't talk much. If we don't win a championship, what was this all about? They're going to have to take on the Lakers in the second round. I would pick the Clippers in a series against the Lakers, but I'm just saying, what if they lose? Then you look up yo, Kawhi only played 65 games. We didn't get to the conference finals or the NBA finals. Was this worth it? Which gets me to my last question that I would like to ask the people as I try to give you my response. Let's go backwards real quick. Imagine being an 8-year-older, a 10-year-older, a high schooler. Imagine falling in love with the game of basketball. Remember that first time you realized I love the game of basketball? Who was the player that did it for you? For me personally, it was Kobe Bryant. That's who made me fall in love with the game of basketball. I was 5 years old. Kobe Bryant had the fro. Laker Nation. Shaq was obviously dominating the league. They were taking on the Indiana Pacers, the Sacramento Kings the next year, then the Philadelphia 76ers in the finals that year, then the New Jersey Nets at the time in the finals the following year. I fell in love with my Lakers. The year after that, they took on the Detroit Pistons, and the Pistons beat my Lakers in 5 games. It was an emphatic blowout. That was the last we seen of Kobe and Shaq together. And them losing in that series, it only made me love my Lakers, love Kobe Bryant even more, right? It made me want to double down on my love for Kobe. Seeing Shaq leave, Shaq telling Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes, it made me love Kobe more. Bear with me here. I bring all this up to say, if you're a kid or younger, how could you become a fan of Kawhi Leonard? Don't get me wrong, Kawhi Leonard is amazing on the court, but he doesn't talk. His brand is blah. He's not with Nike or Jordan, or hell, even Adidas. He wears ugly New Balances. He's rocked by New Balance. The guy literally goes out, does his job, and you don't hear a word out of him. I remember one time LeBron said at that point he had taken on the San Antonio Spurs in 2 finals in a row, for the most part guarded by Kawhi. They split it 1-1. He said he might have heard Kawhi say 2 sentences the whole series. That's 14 games. 13 games, actually. How do you become a fan of Kawhi Leonard? Because if I'm a young kid watching this game right now, I think I'd either be a Steph Curry fan or a Giannis fan, or maybe even still a LeBron fan or a Kevin Durant fan. Or hell, after those guys, I might skip and go down to the Luka Doncic's of the world, the Ja Morant of the world, the Zion Williamsons of the world. I just don't see the Trae Youngs of the world, who he can really light it up with that 3-pointer. I just don't see how I would land myself on being a Kawhi Leonard fan. He doesn't promote the game. He plays the game at an exceptional level. But he just dropped the most boring 43 points ever. His dunk package is at best. He's more of a mid-range guy. He ain't going to wow you with 8 threes a game. He ain't going to wow you with 8 dunks a game. How could I, as a kid, become a fan of Kawhi Leonard? I don't know. And for that reason, and that reason only, I just have to ask myself, and I ask you guys as fans of the game as well, is Kawhi giving us everything he has? I mean, could he be a little more exciting on the court? Could he talk a little more? I get it, his dad passed away, was killed, and has essentially muted him. But I have to ask myself, are we respecting Kawhi Leonard because he's mute and because he's about his business? Or do we look at that as a guy who's cheating us on a fandom experience? At the end of the day, the National Basketball Association, their core element, their core responsibility, at the end of the day, the fandom experience, the NBA's job is to entertain me and you. And I ask myself over and over again, is this guy doing the best he can to entertain me and you? Could you let me in your life a little bit? I'll just leave it at that. That's all I have. I go by the name of Mr.Taliaferro. Thank you so much for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I'm out. You into sports? We got you. NFL news? I got you. NBA news, NBA highlights, NBA full coverage, feature stories, all that great stuff. I got you. We even got a little bit of Madden and 2K mixed in. Subscribe to this platform, and I got you. More quality content on the way. Subscribe.